Six Science Facts with Miss Jamie is back for another week of science and facts and fun. It's going to be a super interesting week, and our deep dive is about orangutans, which is super interesting. They're, I believe, our closest living relative. Alright, but without further ado, we're just going to dive right in with our first fact, which is about mammals. And this week's mammal is the koala. Oh, look how cute he is. Oh my god. The koala is not a bear, but an Australian marsupial, or pouched animal. When it is born, the tiny young joey, which is the term for all baby marsupials, crawls to its mother's pouch, where it continues to grow for the next 6 months. Koalas spend most of their time sleeping, but when they are awake, they love to eat. Their favorite food is eucalyptus leaves. They eat eucalyptus leaves. Aww. Okay, so I know a lot of times you've probably heard people say koala bear. You just learned today that the koala is not actually a bear, but it is a, do you remember the word? A marsupial, the same as a kangaroo. So koalas and kangaroos are both marsupials. That means they are genetically related, more than most other animals are. Alright, moving on to weather and celestial. This week's is, that was supposed to be thunder, lightning, lightning, lightning. That's a really cool illustration. That looks nice. Alright, lightning is a brief, powerful electric discharge caused when moist air passes through an electrical field. Lightning can move from cloud to ground, from ground to cloud, or from cloud to cloud. Thunder is the sound that accompanies lightning. You can estimate the distance of lightning by counting the seconds between flash and crash. Every 5 seconds, the thunder travels about a mile. Wow, I love this fact. This is something so cool that you can use all the time and remember. So if you want to know how far away a storm is from you, all you have to do is count the time between when you see the lightning flash in the sky and then the time that you hear the thunder crack in the sky, the sound. So if you see the flash and then you count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, and then you hear crash, boom, a really loud thunder, that means that the storm is about a mile away. And if it's faster, that means the storm is closer to you. And if it's and if it's longer, then you know the storm is farther away from you. That's a really fun practical fact about lightning. Fact 3 this week is about birds and leaves. And we will be learning about the ostrich. Look at that cool illustration. You can see that the ostrich's long neck is keeping its head really close to his egg down there. That's a big egg. Ostrich eggs are huge. They're huge. The largest living bird, the ostrich cannot fly, but it can run very fast, over 40 miles per hour, and it also lays the largest eggs. When provoked, the ostrich will defend itself by kicking with its powerful legs. Ostriches are found in dry grasslands south of the Sahara Desert and in southern Africa. Okay, so yeah, like I said, they have really big eggs. They can't fly. They sometimes stick their head in the sand to I think hide. That's not a very good hiding spot though, because we can still see the rest of them. Alright, fact 4 is about flowers and bugs, and this is an interesting one. We will be learning about the anatomy of a flower, or the parts of a flower, as it reads on here. I'm going to read through this one first, and then I'll go over what's on the illustration. Pundicle or stalk, receptacle where the flower is attached, sepal, outer enclosure of the bud, petals, Stamen, usually consisting of the filament supporting the anther where pollen is produced. Pistil, containing the ovary, fruit when mature, where the ovule or seed is made. Rising from the ovary is the style, topped by the stigma, part of the pistil where the pollen germinates. Okay, so this is the peduncle right here. This is the flower receptacle where the flower sits. These are the petals, the pink part. All this part right here, this yellow, that's the stamen, the anther, the filament. I think the thin part is the filament. And then in here is where the seed is made. That's how the flower reproduces. That's called the ovary, and that's where the ovule or the seed is made. That's the ovule right in there. Very interesting. Up next, under the water, is the axolotl. The axolotl is a salamander that lives in lakes near Mexico City. Many salamanders start their lives with gills and then lose them when they move onto land, but the axolotl lives its whole life in the water and never loses its feathery gills. These creatures are able to regenerate lost body parts, an important skill for science to study. They are an endangered species. Aw, look how cute it looks. Axolotls are a very low maintenance pet. My sister has an axolotl. You just have to keep its tank clean. You don't even need a filter for it. And it can also regenerate parts of its body, which, like the card said, is important for science to study. So maybe someday us humans can adapt that trait and also regenerate parts of our bodies. Wouldn't that be amazing? Last fact of the day is the fossil. The fossil. A fossil is the petrified remains of an ancient organism or its impression left in a rock. Petrification occurs when an object is buried and over millions of years, under great pressure, the surrounding material turns to rock. The object inside eventually dissolves and other waterborne materials seep into the space like a mold, creating a perfect stone cast of the original object. Okay, so the remains of an organism, whether that be a flower or a creature or anything that has matter, gets buried, and over millions of years the pressure from the earth pressing down on it turns whatever is surrounding it into stone and then makes the organism dissolve. Then mold grows on the inside of it and creates a stone cast or a molding. So that's how fossils are created, and that's how we can learn so much about what happened in ancient times, and even before ancient times and prehistoric times. Wow, those were some interesting cards today, guys. And now we're moving on to the final aspect of 6 science facts, which is of course the deep dive with a book from our very own library, which of course I do all these videos for, the Blue Island Public Library. And this book is going to be about orangutans. All right, guys, let's get started. First off, I'll show you the picture. Oh, look at that picture of the mommy holding the baby on her back. Families always love each other, no matter what species. In ancient times, orangutans lived throughout the Southeast Asian area. Today, however, wild orangutans are found only on the islands of Borneo and Sumatra, where they live in dense tropical rainforests. The orangs depend on the trees in the forest for food, for shelter, and as protection from dangers below. Unfortunately, many of the trees have been cut down for fuel and for lumber, and to clear land for farming. When the trees disappear, the orangs have nowhere to live. Without care and protection, these magnificent apes are in great danger of becoming extinct. In an effort to save orangutans, people are trying to learn more about them before it's too late. Scientists are studying orangutans in their natural environment as well as in zoos and research centers. As with all wild animals living outside their natural environment, the behavior of orangutans changes somewhat as they adapt to captivity. Nevertheless, everything that we can learn about these animals helps promote their survival. Wow, look at those pictures. Looks like they're eating there. They're looking at the camera. Over here. Looks like he's looking at something. They're saying that orangutans only live in a very small part of the world under very specific conditions. And because of people who want to use the land for farming or use the trees that they live in to build things, their habitat is disappearing. And when their habitat disappears, then they'll die because they don't have the protection that they need and the resources that they need. That's why it's so important to have self-restraint when it comes to the environment. Humans should live in balance with the other animals, not push them to extinction, which means they don't exist anymore. One of the most remarkable things about orangutans is how similar they are to people, both in body structure and in some of the ways they behave. Along with gorillas and chimpanzees, orangutans are more closely related to human beings than any other animal. Scientists believe that we have all evolved from an ape-like creature that lived about 10 million years ago. During the course of evolution, many changes took place that made humans distinct from these animals. Yet by studying how apes have adapted to the environments in which they live, we can learn about the origins of some of our own behaviors and gain insight into our natural heritage. So because we have so much of the same DNA as orangutans and some other monkeys, and because some of our behavioral patterns are so similar, scientists guess that we are all related to a common ancestor that lived about 10 million years ago. But that's a theory. They don't know that for sure. Here's some more pictures. Oh my gosh, look at the little baby monkey sitting by. Oh, this is a gorilla actually. This is a chimpanzee and this is an orangutan. Okay, so we can see how they all look kind of different but yet kind of similar. Chimp, gorilla, orangutan. The name orangutan is formed from two Malay words, orang and hutan, which together means person of the forest. Orangs are also sometimes referred to as red apes because of the long, russet-colored hair on their bodies. There is only one species of orangutan, and it has the scientific name Pongo pygmaeus. It includes two subspecies, the orangutans from Borneo and those from Sumatra. They are similar in their habitats and behavior, and when they are kept together in captivity, they can interbreed. Although the body hair of the Bornean orangutan is sometimes darker than that of the Sumatrans, the main difference between the two subspecies is in the appearance of the adult male. As a Bornean male matures, he develops huge cheek flaps and a pouch under his chin. A Sumatran male is often taller and more slender than a Bornean male and usually does not have prominent cheek flaps or a pouch. Instead, his face is often adorned with a long mustache and beard. Both males have body hair that resembles a thick, unkempt rug. Except for Willie, all of the orangs at the Los Angeles Zoo are of the type found in Borneo. The appearance of individuals varies wildly, and the only accurate way to determine if an animal is Bornean or Sumatran is by analyzing its body chemistry. So we saw Willie here, which I told you earlier was the Sumatran variety. This larger picture, there we go. Those are the skin flaps and the pouches. He's of the Bornean variety. He is eating something there, you can see. Wow, look at those. Here's another picture of an orangutan. Let's see, I see pouches on the face, so that must be a Bornean one. Adult male orangutans are usually about 4.5 feet tall, although they sometimes grow to be more than 5 feet tall. In captivity, they may weigh as much as 350 pounds, but in the wild, where food is less plentiful and the animals are more active, males usually weigh between 130 and 200 pounds. Because of their weight, full-grown males cannot climb as easily as younger males, and they tend to spend more time on the ground. Cheek flaps begin to develop when a male is 5 or 6, but they do not become fully developed until a male reaches his full growth when he is about 15 years old. Female orangutans are only about half as big as males and usually weigh about 88 to 110 pounds and stand about 45 inches, which is roughly 3 or 4 feet tall. Their body hair is not as thick as that on males, and females have narrow faces, more like those of younger animals. Like other apes, young orangs grow up slowly, not reaching their full size until they are in their early teens. A male orangutan can mate when he is 10 or 11, and a female is able to have her first baby when she is about 8 or 9 years old. There's another picture of an orangutan. Wow, so here we learned some physical difference between male and female orangutans. We learned that males are usually slightly bigger and weigh slightly more. Females have a narrower face and their hair isn't as thick on their bodies. We also learned that when orangutans are in captivity, they are less active and they weigh more because there's more food. They'll weigh up to 350 pounds, but in the wild, where they are, where they're very active every day and the food isn't as plentiful, they can weigh about, what was it? 130 to 200 pounds. So that's an extra 150 pounds of captivity weight. Whew. I know some people out there in quarantine feel that. I know I do. Apes are divided into 2 groups. The great apes, which are the orangutans, gorillas, and chimpanzees, and the lesser apes, which include 7 species of gibbons. Gorillas and chimpanzees live in Africa, whereas orangutans and gibbons live in the vicinity of Southeast Asia. The lesser apes are acrobatic, tree-dwelling animals and are believed to have evolved earlier than the larger great apes. Unlike most monkeys, apes do not have tails. All apes belong to the family group called the pangolins. The gorilla is the largest of the great apes, with males that can reach around 450 pounds or more. The gorilla lives mainly on the ground and is a heavy, stocky animal. Chimpanzees, the smallest of the great apes, live both on the ground and in the lower branches of the trees. They are considered to be the most closely related to humans because they share more of the same body chemicals. Compared to the chimpanzee and gorilla, the orangutan has a more elongated shape with a lighter weight in relation to its height. This suits its life in the forest, where the long arms and a more agile shape make moving through the trees easier. And this is what a gibbon looks like. Right there. Kind of funny looking, right? And then, yeah, these are the great apes, like they explained to us again. Gorillas, chimps, the ones closest related to us, and orangutans. Wow, this is a cool picture of a orangutan swinging from ropes. Apes and people are part of a larger animal group called primates. Other primates include monkeys, marmosets, and shrews. The one common characteristic of all primates is the ability to climb by grasping. We grasp with our thumb. We grasp something like that. Some primates, like orangutans, can climb using both their hands and their feet. Their toes are long and flexible, which allows them to hold and manipulate objects as well. An orangutan's hand is larger than a human hand, and the fingers are much longer in proportion to the thumb. This helps the orang to hold on tightly when climbing. When an orang hangs on a branch or vine, the top joint of the fingers can wrap around the branch completely to form a locking grip. This grip is so strong that an orang can easily support its entire body weight with one hand. Orangutans are noted for their unbelievable strength and have well-developed arm and shoulder muscles. In their native lands, they are said to be powerful enough to kill crocodiles with their bare hands. Wow, holy cow. That is a locking grip. So pretty much they're saying that their hands are built so that their hands lock into place like that. The way their knuckles are built, or their knuckles. And so their grip is so strong that it's said that they can kill crocodiles with their bare hands. And you can imagine how strong crocodiles are. Those are deadly animals. It's very, very cool. That was an excerpt from Orangutan by Carolyn Arnold. I would read more, but the book is very long. There's a lot of information, and actually we learn about, we sort of follow a little orangutan as he, grows up from being a very small baby to being a full-grown adult male, and it's very interesting. Maybe in a different time I will read about Michael. That's his name. Or you can come in here and check out this library book yourself if you're interested in learning more about how orangutans live their lives. It seems like a scientist probably studied Michael and recorded the behaviors that they watched him do and stuff like that. So that's a really great source of information. Really great. This has been another 6 Science Facts with Jamie. I love doing these with you guys, and we only have a couple more episodes left before the fact flashcards, or I can't do it. The fact flash. Okay. We only have a couple more weeks of these flashcards to go, and then we'll have to figure out some other cool science video. I've been thinking about these science experiments that we could do, or I could do more random facts. I could look them up on the internet. Let me know if you guys have any ideas about scientific videos that you would be interested in, or other science or facts-based videos that I could do once we don't have any more flashcards to do 6 science facts. Alright guys, have a great day. As always, comment and tell me what you want to deep dive next week. I will probably do lightning if nobody says anything, but as always, I am open to whatever you guys want to learn about. Let me explore the library for you. Woo! Okay, have a great day.